Yo, yellow. Look at my shoes, can you see my toes? But that's on the show, bro. Nobody knows. Look into my eyes, tell me what you see. Can you feel my pain? Am I your enemy? Give us a better way. Things are really bad. The only friend I know is this gonna have. Listen to my voice, this is not a threat. Now you say the nine. Are you worried yet? You be talking about you want the world to see, but when you show us home, we will show you peace. Look into my mind. Can you see the world? Can you tell that I
wanna help myself, but if it's up and that, I'm right before you ring. Don't be mad at me, it's a survival thing.
Look into my heart, I can feel your fear.
Take another look, can you hold my stare? Why are you afraid of my angry face? Or is it bulging in my waist?
Look into my eyes, tell me what you see.
It's my man Bounty Killer, look into my eyes. That's that old school, again, 1990s, hot reggae. Folks, real quick, I want to talk to you about why it's so difficult for us to change. Why you can't change other people. Yeah, I want to discuss why you can't change other people, and I want to explain the science to that. Why you can't change other people, and real quick, I want to shout out to J King H. This dude's been like leaving comments on my videos. I appreciate those comments. Very inspiring comments and encouraging comments to keep going. So I appreciate you, J King H. Keep the comments coming. Again, appreciate you, brother. But I want to talk about why you can't change other people. Okay? I want to discuss why you can't change other people. But more so, the first reason, the easy answer is the reason you can't change other people is because you really can't change yourself. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but try to stop one of your habits. You know, I'm a 40-year-old man. If you're under the sound of my voice and you're my contemporary, try to stop one of your habits. Whether it's your favorite food, a vice, whatever, good, bad, or indifferent, try to stop one of your habits. Just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to stop doing this. And I guarantee you, your success ratio is incredibly exponentially higher than your success ratio. So we have you can't change yourself sounds counterintuitive and it sounds self-defeating. I say it in a very generic sense. You can change yourself, but it is with Herculean fortitude of mind that one can will themselves into a change, a transmutational state or stage. And that's what it's called, transmutation, alchemy. I talked about alchemy in the periodic table and all of that stuff. And this is why it's a safe assumption. It's safe to say people can't change themselves. But you will always have exception to the rules. There are exceptional people out there who can change themselves. But generally and typically, people will not change themselves. This is the base root of why it is impossible to change someone else. Because if you can't change yourself, how can you change another, right? The scientific explanation to that is this. If you look at the first law of Newtonian science or Newtonian physics, the first law states that an object at rest stays at rest and an object in motion will stay in motion. If you look at Galileo, he talks about inertia. Newton pretty much built on Galileo's philosophies or thesis of inertia. And in Galileo and Newton, you'll find that built into the fabric of matter is a resistance to change. Alchemy teaches that matter can be manipulated, right? The alchemist. If you're an alchemist, you understand this. Matter can be manipulated. But not everyone is an alchemist. And to the regular everyday folk, built into your matter, right? We're all matter. Built into your matter is a resistance to change. Again, whether you believe this or not is irrelevant. The laws of the universe are not subject to your whims or your whimsical opinions. So built into matter is a resistance to change based off scientific data, empirical data, based off observation and experiment, not just theoretical or hypothetical. So we're not talking hypothetically here or theoretically or impractically, we're talking about empirically. So based off scientific data, observation, experiment, and experiential trial and error, they have found, these great minds have found that built into matter is a inherent resistance to change. This resistance to change is what is called inertia. And this explains why it is practically almost, and I say almost and practically because nothing is impossible, but it is very far and few in between where you will find a person being able to change themselves and then effect change in another. Now, when I say change in oneself, I don't mean, okay, you take a leave of absence from a behavior. A leave of absence from a behavior is not a transmutation of oneself. It is exactly what it is. A respite, a break, a temporary cessation from that habit, behavior, and or deed. So when I say change oneself, I am talking about a radical U-turn, about face, a revolutionary transmutation, not just a modification or some kind of altering. Altering the behavior is not changing it. It's exactly what it is, altering it. If I'm a cheat and I cheat 7 days of the week on my girl, on my woman, my whatever, and I alter that behavior, I'd go from cheating 7 days to 6 or 5 or 4. You get what I'm saying? So altering a behavior is not changing the behavior. If I say I modify my behavior, I cheat 5 days of the week, and I like to cheat during the middle of the day. I modify it and change and cheat in the morning. That's not change. That's modification. Modification, alteration is not transmutation. Again, to change oneself without the knowledge of the science behind one's actions, behind one's behavior, then there is no permanent, lasting, or meaningful change that's going to be made. Now, if you can't change your damn self, you're not going to change anyone else. But not to despair and drown in misery, for there is a solution. Lasting and meaningful change can occur. Say that again. Lasting and meaningful transmutation, not transformation, but transmutation. There's a distinction between transformation and transmutation. Lasting and meaningful transmutational change can occur. For this to occur, let's look at the first law. An object at rest stays at rest. A person who's a thief will stay a thief. A person who is lethargic will remain lethargic. A person who is successful will remain successful. An object in motion, a person in motion stays in that trajectory, that directionality, that transaction, that motion. A person's going to stay. A person who's at rest is going to stay at rest. Hear ye, hear he is the solution, because in that law lies the answer. Except acted upon by an external force that is equal to. No. Didn't say that. That is less than. No. That is greater than. Absolutely. The external force must be greater than the force that is acting upon the object that is at rest or is in motion. The external force must be greater than and in the opposite of that force that is currently residing on that object. So in order for there to be a change, a transmutational, lasting, meaningful change, there must be an external force, an opposite external force that is greater than the current force that is keeping the person in the trajectory that they're currently in. So if you are let's just say, if you're a thief, that's the direction your life is going in. You're a klepto, you like to steal. What is going to change you? There must be a force that is the opposite of a thief, and that force must be greater than the force of a thief that is currently moving, manipulating, and functioning you. So in other words, to simplify it, if I'm doing something, if I have a certain behavior pattern, let's say